Welcome to Shiny New Clients, the marketing podcast that helps you attract shiny new clients to your business. We'll talk about social media, what makes people buy, how to go viral, and marketing psychology, all in 20 minutes or less. Whether you're a coach, a stylist, or a wedding planner, if you've got a service-based business to sell, this is the show you need to fill your calendar. I'm Jenna Warner, your new marketing coach, and this is Shiny New Clients. The thing about being self-employed is nobody is making you do it. You show up for you, you're in charge of your days, but most people have lived a life being socialized to do what you're told. You went through school, you did what you were told. You got a job, you did what you were told. You lived in your parents' house, you did what you were told. So this transition to getting to be in charge of yourself and your time also comes along with a responsibility that, a lot of us don't have innate skills in implementing, like personal accountability or even recovering from your mistakes because there is no one to reprimand you except for you, and then you go too hard on yourself. So even witnessing a mistake, fixing the mistake, and then moving forward. These are all skills you have to acquire as a business owner. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenna, your new marketing coach. I teach service-based business owners how to get clients from Instagram. And here on this podcast, I talk a lot about marketing, business, and content creation. If you want to get clients from Instagram and you want to do it in 15 minutes a day, there is a free training in the description of this episode that will tell you the exact strategy that my clients use and how we can work together inside my proven program, Magic Marketing Machine. So anyway, I hear from people all the time, oh, Jenna, well, content creation must be so easy for you because you grew up on stage. Yes, fair. I did grow up on stage. I am a trained actor. That was my past life. But sometimes I think people don't realize the biggest lessons I took from that lifestyle, from that career, and the ways that it has paid me forward that aren't what you would imagine. Because I can teach you how to show up on camera. I can teach you where to look. I can even instill you, whatever. I can make you feel confident. I can help you be charismatic. We can teach you all of that. Just like I had to learn all of that when I was starting out as an actor. But there are some things that happened in my life as an actor that I feel like paid me back exponentially. And here's one of them. When I was 9 years old, I was cast in Alice in Wonderland, and it was community theater, but like big time community theater. So it was children and adults and big stages. We performed at the Royal George Theatre in Niagara-on-the-Lake, which seats just over 300 people. And I got to not go to school and I got to just be in the play instead of going to school for a few weeks, which was awesome. So it was a big deal and it was taken very seriously. And the directors and production team, they took it very seriously. They treated us like little professional actors. There were full sets and fog machines and black lights and elaborate costumes. Some of the coolest costumes were the Queen of Hearts and the Queen of, what's the other queen in Alice in Wonderland? There's two queens. And one wears all red and one wears all white. And they were actually played by men in drag, and they had these like very big, elaborate costumes. It was very cool. And there was this song in the show that the Red Queen sang. And the Red Queen happened to also be the director of this play. And as much as we took all of this very seriously and practiced, somehow we managed to basically never rehearse the Red Queen's song. And I was Alice. Did I tell you that? Okay, I was Alice. So little 9-year-old me in my little peach and white poofy dress with a crinoline on stage for the entire show. I never left the stage because the whole journey goes around Alice. There's no B plot in Alice in Wonderland, and it was a musical. So I'm really doing a poor job of telling the story. The stuff with the kids, we rehearsed 1,000,000 times over, but I think because it was the director's number, it got put as the very last thing. And I think there's a metaphor in that as well for business ownership, because you're so focused on everybody else and making sure everybody else has what they need. You put your own business on the back burner and don't give your own business what you need. Anyway, that's what the director had done. We get to opening night, and and this number shows up that was never rehearsed, and I'm on stage for the whole thing. And I remember the night before, I never asked my mom for help. I was like very independent about all of my theater, but the night before I asked her for help reading over the script to make sure that I had the lines memorized for that scene, because the whole scene and song, again, we had never done. And I wasn't even afraid. I wasn't scared, I guess because I was too young. And I think because when you're young, you're like, truly, what's the worst that can happen? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, they're not going to boo me off the stage. What's going to make this moment look bad is if I look scared, or if I look embarrassed, or if I let the audience know that I'm not 100% confident, or if I try and like relay to the audience somehow, like, hey guys, like, hey, it's me, Alice, like, listen, this is his fault, not mine. Like, that's what's going to ruin this scene. If I'm able to just show up and fake it and seem confident and stay in character, then it's going to work, right? I don't remember being scared at all. I just remember being like, wow, this is some crazy shit. So the moment comes, and I remember little flashes of it. They put me on a throne center stage, and he kind of just did his thing, dancing all around me and sang his song, and I just reacted and responded enthusiastically and did my little actor thing, and it was fine. Everyone was fine. Nobody died. And so I was thinking, when it comes to you and your content and the tasks that you aren't holding yourself accountable for and the things that are falling off your plate, what if you had to? What would you do differently if you had to do it? What if you were your own boss and you acted like an employee for yourself? What if you were little Alice on stage and the show must go on and you had to do it? And how can we harness that energy to have more personal accountability in our businesses? Now, sidebar. There is some little T trauma in that whole the show must go on attitude. I'm not saying that I came out unscathed. When you put a child on stage in a situation like that, and I was on stage all through like my teen years, and I went to college for musical theater, so there is some little T trauma. I might push a little bit harder than the average person should when it comes to the show must go on. Like, actually, last week I was supposed to teach a Magic Marketing Machine group call, and my province is on fire. There's like really crazy wildfires right now. And I didn't realize how thick the smoke was. And I was actually working in the sunroom. So I was sitting in dense smoke all morning without realizing it. And I got super, super sick. Suddenly I had this crazy headache, and then I had nausea from the headache, and I couldn't even open my eyes. And I was laying there shaking with a heated blanket on my body and a cold compress on my head. And I was saying to my husband, oh my gosh, the call is starting soon. Like, I think I can make it. No, I think I can make it. Oh no, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And then as I started recovering, because I took like Advil and water and food, and I was just trying to get better, and I was like, okay, babe, I think I can make it. What time is it? And he's like, the call started 10 minutes ago. Now, so that's wild. I really should have rested. And I did show up half an hour late, and that's never happened before. In 4 years of teaching these Magic Marketing Machine calls, I can count on one hand the times that I have missed when I was supposed to be there. But this was a wild experience. And when I got there, of course, because so many people in the program, it's healers and helpers, lactation consultants and life coaches and sleep consultants and really like empathetic dog trainers and horse RMTs. A lot of the people that are drawn to me are healers and helpers, and mostly women and a lot of mothers. And so, of course, everyone was like, Jenny, you should really just lay down. But anyway, as I marched up the stairs from my little sick den on the couch telling Jordan, no, I insist, I'm going to go make the call, I started singing, the show must go on, the show must go on, from Moulin Rouge. So yeah, a little bit of little T trauma there. What would you do if you had to do it? Why are you putting things off? No one is ever going to be standing over you again, because you're self-employed now, right? We got businesses. We are not going back to that 9-to-5 grind workforce. There will never again be someone standing over you with the ruler stick, slapping your desk saying, get to work. It's not going to happen. We have to be 100% accountable for our own success. We have to be good employees for our businesses.
We have to believe that we matter enough to work on our businesses and to work on our marketing, work on our sales, to work on our mindset and our mental health and our Instagram. We have to believe that we matter enough to spend time on that. Nobody's going to make you do it but you. And I mean, if we're going to try and be super proactive, because it's sometimes hard to just flip a switch with a change, why aren't you? Try asking yourself, why aren't I doing that thing? And see if you can get to the crux of the matter, the root of the matter, of your avoidance. I know sometimes with Instagram, especially in marketing and the clients I work with, when I encourage people to really get to the root of why they're not doing something, they often find it and it's simple. And so even if you just ask yourself right now, try and dig deep, what is holding me back? Sometimes it gets to the point where someone's like, well, my phone crashes every freaking time I go to make a post. Okay. Can we get you a new phone? Can we restore factory settings? Can we empty out your photos? Can we sit down with a cup of chamomile tea or wine and like empty things out and give you some storage space back? Can you use your husband's phone for your content creation? Like, can we find a solution there? Because if that's actually the thing that keeps getting you so frustrated that you can't make content, because we can fix that. If it's I have no ideas, okay, come in a magic marketing machine. I will help you. If it's editing a video takes too long, okay, same answer. Actually, we have all these tips for how to edit your videos faster, film them in a way that makes them easier to edit, or you can make carousels, you can make B-roll reels. Like, we can find solutions if you can identify the reason you're not doing the thing. And that doesn't just go for Instagram, of course. It's marketing. It's everything to do with your business, you know? Can you imagine, though, little Jenna on stage with these two over-the-top, cross-dressed men in front of an audience of over 300 people? And she's just making it up. Wow. I can't believe I did that. That's all from me, loves. I'll see you in the next one.